Hello, everybody, and I am excited to be joining you all for the 7th NEO TV Lab there in Buenos Aires. I'm joining you today from Bowling Green, Kentucky in the United States, a place known for its horses, bourbon, and bluegrass music. This is the second year in a row that I've been able to join you guys virtually at the NEO TV Lab, and it's an honor to be able to do so again. I am here to talk to you today about a book project that I worked on called Spreadable Media. It was published last year with NYU Press in English and has since been translated to Portuguese and Italian, Swedish, and hopefully soon into Spanish. Spreadable Media builds on the work that myself and my co-authors Henry Jenkins and Joshua Green have done about the ways audiences and how they engage with media texts are changing. A lot of my prior work had focused on how audiences themselves are becoming publishers of content, about how we can talk back to media producers directly in a way that we haven't been able to before, and also how we can talk to one another and produce texts that are engaged with by other fans. Spreadable Media takes a little bit of a different approach. It looks at the roles audiences play not only in producing text, but primarily in circulating text. Research increasingly finds that people are as likely to find the media text they engage with not from the traditional distribution mechanisms and promotional tools of the media company or the marketing company itself, but rather from fellow audience members. And that changes our relationship with those media texts quite a bit. And it also changes our orientation to those texts when we become the distribution mechanism in many ways. So our book looks at how the TV industry, for instance, is handling the shift from the appointment-based model, which in the U.S. advertising supported is focused on putting content in a place, getting the audience to come to that place, and then selling their eyeballs to advertisers, and instead toward an engagement-based model. And in the process, we're seeing a lot of new production models emerge for how people are trying to design their production and distribution of content for a spreadable media environment. I want to talk to you a little bit about a particular example of that. A lot of my research has traditionally focused on the world of professional wrestling, which here in the U.S. Is and globally is dominated these days by a company called World Wrestling Entertainment. WWE took what had largely been a live event model. Everything was meant to promote you buying a ticket and going to watch the wrestling matches at the arena, and turned it into a transmedia model that you still go to the arena to watch the latest chapter unfold, but now it is a serialized story that unfolds over time, not just through going to attend the match, but also through the soap opera-like storylines that develop from week to week as the wrestlers feud with one another, the special events that you pay extra for to see the big grudge match, DVD releases, magazines, the website which tells parts and pieces of the story, and all the way down to the fact that the wrestlers themselves, each actor who plays each character maintains their own social media presence. So what you really have is what I've called the world's largest alternate reality game. You have the ability now to be immersed in a narrative world that is real-time storytelling. When the wrestlers say they're going to be in Washington, D.C. or Boston, Massachusetts, or come to South America on a tour, you could actually go there and see those characters in real time. When the characters tweet that they're traveling on the plane to go there, the actor who plays that character really is traveling there. And that gives an ability for real-time engagement for the fan. You can actually go to the arena and become an active part of the show. While the wrestlers are performing, fighting one another, the fans are performing that they are sports spectators. The average fan knows that wrestling isn't quote unquote really happening, but their role is to act like a sports fan while they're there. Sometimes the fans play that role, sometimes they resist the role that's been scripted for them. All the way to the fact that WWE is now creating its own distribution system so that wrestling fans can subscribe directly to WWE. So I know that the focus of the Neo TV Labs event this year is on what you want to see even before you imagine it. I would recommend, as unlikely as it might be, that you look at a space like pro wrestling, which has existed on the margins of the media industry, has certainly not been the cultural mainstream, but has been massively popular for decades now here in the U.S. and around the world. There's a lot of innovation happening in that company, in particular because they're able to do this real-time storytelling, and they're able to engage with their audience in a way that almost no other fictional franchise can. So I think that's the recommendation or thought that I leave you with, and one illustration of how this world of spreadable media might come to fruition in new production models. Happy to share more about that idea with you guys and to talk with you guys about that idea. I'll be available online and look forward to taking part in the Neo TV Lab. Thanks.